That time Rimuru got a daughter. By Asora09. Rimuru's perspective. I woke up again about what I approximated to be about an hour or two, at most. I turned around, and saw Riley and Seal sleeping peacefully. I gently woke them up, and prompted them to get ready to leave the imaginary space. No matter how much I regretted it, there was a lot of stuff we had to do back in the village, so there was no way we could stay in bed all day. Both of my girls seemed to understand that, and raised no complaints. While Seal prepared herself and fixed her bed hair, I created a cute white one-piece dress and a pair of sandals for Riley to use. I then helped her dress up, and placed her hair in a pair of short pigtails like what I had done the previous night. "Okay. All ready. You look really cute," I said as I finished tying her hair up with the same pink ribbons as last time. "Yay. Thanks, Papa." Riley beamed and jumped to give me a hug. "You are welcome, sweetie." I picked her up, being careful to not ruin her dress, and gave her a kiss on the cheek, which caused her to smile even more. I might get blind from seeing such a bright smile. As I was thinking that, a voice reached out to me. "I am ready, darling." I turned around, and saw Seal wearing a black skirt on the bottom, a light gray zipless hoodie on the top, and a pair of black sneakers with white shoelaces as footwear. Her hair was tied up in a single ponytail. It was nothing really extravagant, it was rather casual wear that was not common in this world, but still, I have to say. "Wow, you look so pretty." Seal immediately blushed at my commentary, and as a defense mechanism, she hid her hands in her sleeves and then brought them up to cover up her face. "GG's, saying such a thing out of the blue, darling." She was stuttering a bit. "What are you talking about? You're the one who started calling me, darling, so passionately, and now I can't tell you you're pretty. If you are going to take up the role as my wife, then you should do it more proactively, you know." I was being pretty direct. I surprised myself, to be honest. I thought I was going to be furiously blushing as well, like when we first woke up, but after thinking about it calmly, I noticed that I already referred to her as my wife in front of everyone, and that she had declared herself to be my wife in the past as well, so there is no reason to be shy with each other. We have been together for so long, and we even have a daughter now, so I see no reason to be shy. But, even though I say that, I still am blushing a bit. What? This is the first time I am complimenting a girl in which I am in a relationship with, you know. How could I not be embarrassed and nervous, huh? Why yeah, you are right, darling. She slowly lowered her hands, revealing her still red face. She started playing around with her hands and fidgeting nervously. At that moment, Riley, who had gone back to the bed to grab her teddy bear, came back and stared at Seal. "Aw, Mama, cute," she said as she pointed toward her. I wonder if she was referring to how she was red and fidgeting, or to her clothes, but either way, there was no denying the fact that Seal is looking real cute right now. But, I have to say it is a bit disturbing to be complimenting someone who looks basically identically to me. Dear, is there any way for you to change your appearance a bit? I have to say I am a bit disturbed by the fact that you look exactly like me. Wouldn't you prefer to have your own looks? I immediately proposed an idea to her. It wasn't really a big problem, but during our visits to other countries, like Dworgen and Anglesia, I think it would be better to not give off the idea of being a pair of twins who had a daughter. That seems kind of wrong to me. I explained all of that to Seal, and she nodded while saying, "I see. That really could leave off the wrong impression." Immediately after, she closed her eyes, and generated a clone body. She played around with the clone a bit, changing its hair color and features. Riley and I were watching intently at what Seal was doing. After some minutes, she used Void God Azathoth to consume it, and then went ahead and mimicked it. It was exactly the same thing Riley did to obtain her current human form. After the mimic, her body transformed to look exactly the same way as the clone did. Her bluish-silver hair turned just silver, with a couple strands of red here and there. Her eyes remained red, but her facial and body features became much more feminine than before. Author's note: I am not the owner of the original image. I made some modifications in Photoshop to suit my wants, like the eye and hair color and the name tag, but the original image is not mine. The original owner appears in the image with the @ I froze on my spot, with my jaw hitting the floor. I got utterly bewitched by Ciel's new appearance. I tried to say something, but my mouth didn't move. I was classified to have a goddess-tier beauty on the main timeline, but if that is true, then I believe Ciel's charm cannot be expressed in words. I was very sure her beauty would be enough to eclipse any idol or supermodel back on Earth. That beauty, and her casual wear, that gave a sense of seriousness and maturity, just made it impossible for me to take my eyes off her. Riley was staring directly at Ciel with her mouth wide open and her eyes turned into stars. Ciel's change was dramatic, but Riley didn't seem to doubt that the beautiful figure before us was her dear mama, thanks to their mother-daughter bond, I guess. Mama, you are so pretty. Riley started jumping in excitement, her pigtails bouncing up and down. Is that so, honey? Ciel seemed a bit nervous at receiving her daughter's praise. She then turned to look at me. What do you think, darling? She started fidgeting shyly halfway through and was stuttering a bit, but she still managed to get the words out. Why, you look very cute, dear. I know I just said that it was weird for a married couple to be shy around each other, but I still couldn't help but blush. Her new beauty had completely brought down my defenses, so I had nothing to resist her charm. She blushed at my compliment as well, and at the end, we both ended up turning away from each other. Riley seemed to be confused. Anyways, are we all ready to go? I said, still keeping my sight to the far, far away. Why yes, let's go, darling. Ciel replied, and in the next instant, we left the imaginary space. I forgot to mention it, but I am currently wearing something similar to Ciel, which is a zipped black hoodie with a white t-shirt underneath, and a pair of brownish pants. It was very informal, but it wasn't as if I was going to be meeting with people with status, or well, not yet. We warped back to the Goblin Village, with Riley standing between Ciel and I. I had kept Riley's teddy bear in the imaginary space so that it wouldn't get lost, so now that she had her two hands free, she grabbed Ciel's left hand with her right, and my right hand with her left. We had actually warped a little bit outside the entrance to the village, so we started walking in that formation, and after a few seconds, we finally arrived at the Goblin Village. The goblins and direwolves had been previously dispersed through the village, but the moment they sensed our presence, they ran to the entrance to greet us. Rimuru-sama, Ciel-sama, Rylioj-sama, we are glad to see you are back. The goblin who approached us and bowed was Rigard, and following his behavior, the rest of the monsters present bowed to us as well. However, I noticed how Rigard tilted his head a bit when he referred to Ciel, and the reason why is pretty obvious. Yeah, it's good to be back in the village. By the way, I know she had different looks yesterday, but this is my wife Ciel. I turned to look at the silver-haired woman beside me. Nice to see everyone again. As I said yesterday, I am Ciel, and I am Rimuru's wife. I will be in your care. She made a slight bow, which caused everyone to panic and say things like, you don't have to bow to us. And, yeah, you are our Lord's wife. There is no reason for you to do that. However, while that was going on, I was thinking about something else. This is the first time she has called me by my first name without honorifics. Ciel always had referred to me as, Master, or, Rimuru-sama, but it was the first time she addressed me in such a casual manner. I have to say, I like it, and I mean, I think there is no need for honorifics, because she is my wife, after all. While I was reflecting over all that, to Papa's and Mama's daughter Riley. It's nice to meet you again. Riley thought that it was now her turn to introduce herself, and so she shouted that with all her might, following up with a small bow, copying Ciel's example. She seemed a bit nervous at her introduction, and the crowd stirred once again at her bow, but that wasn't relevant right now. What's important right now is, how precious. What a cute moment. Yeah, I was in Papa mode. But this wasn't the time to be like that, so I resisted the urge of hugging her on the spot, and cleared my throat. Cough cough. Okay, everyone. From today onwards, the life of this village will be vastly different. Quote. I started explaining the plans for the village, that is, that we were going to live in pairs of goblins and direwolves. I explained the concept behind all of that as well, and also went into depth with the same 3 rules I established on this village on the main timeline. No, I made some changes. For pretty obvious reasons, I changed the, do not be hostile against humans, rule to, do not be hostile against humans, unless they are hostile to you. That's the only change. I wouldn't want to have another slaughter against my people only because of a dumb rule I gave out. This time, if they were attacked by humans, they would fight back, and that's fine by me. So, that's all. Any questions? I said as I looked over the crowd. Nobody said anything, perhaps due to the fact that I had considered every question they could have had, based on the knowledge of the main timeline, and addressed it in my explanation. Good. Now, I will give all of you names, so you can officially become my subordinates. Of course, there was a bit of a shock when I said that, and many goblins, especially Rigurd, tried to explain to me the risks of naming so many monsters, but I just shrugged them off with a, "I'll be fine." They seemed reluctant, but they eventually gave in. I wasn't being careless at all, by the way. With my current magicules, I could name every monster I wanted, and I would never be at risk. Okay, here we go. Then, you will from now on be Rigurd, Rigyur 2, Gobta, Gobchi, Haruna. And in that way, I named every single goblin in the village with the same names as before, and some extras, as we had more members this time, with the exception of Rigyur, who became Rigyur 2 because his brother is still alive this time. Okay, that's great. Now, on to the direwolves. I turned at the puppies that were eagerly waiting their turn, and started with the leader and Ranga. Okay, your names will be Ryga, Ranga. And in that same way, I ended up naming all the wolves. I thought really would get bored, but throughout the puppies' naming, she would approach each one and give them a head pat. I appreciate it, my master. Ranga said, as energetic as always. Yes, we appreciate it, my lord. Ryga said as he bowed. All the other direwolves followed suit. Yeah, don't mind it. Now, you have obtained names, so that means you will evolve. That's why, in the meantime, we need to go to the dwarven kingdom of Dworgen to secure supplies for after the evolution process is done, like clothes and, well, houses, for we kind of dismantled them to defend against the direwolves. I declared. So that's why I will depart today along with some of you. Ranga, I want you to be our mount, and I also want Rigyur and Ryga to come with us. We could literally teleport directly to the kingdom, but, you know. I want really to make some memories about nature and stuff, isn't that normal as a parent? The reason behind the staff I chose was that, first, Ranga's and Ryga's evolution wouldn't be a problem, for they could simply enter my shadow or my imaginary space to complete the evolution, and second, that Rigyur was the only one I didn't name, and the only one who wouldn't evolve. And while we are gone, we could have Veldora protect the village in case anything unforeseen happens. Wait, now that I think about it, where the hell is Veldora? Hey, have any of you seen Veldora? At this, everyone started looking awkward. That is, yes, Veldora-sama is resting near the fence around the village. Resting. I know he can be a lazy old man sometimes, but resting right now. I extended the range of my universal perception to look at the fence, and yup, there he was, with dead eyes while leaning back against the fence. It seems like he got tormented by something, or someone. I snapped my eyes towards Seal, and she averted her sight. What did you do to Veldora, Seal? But well, I can ask about that later. If the village is in true trouble, I am pretty sure he will get back to normal and fend off the danger, hopefully. But I would interrogate Seal later. I can't really turn blind eye to my brother being turned into an emotional punching bag, you know. What are you talking about? Me selling off Veldora to calm Luminous's rage, or to escape Velzard's scary face in the past? What are you talking about? That has never happened. I have no idea what you are talking about. Alright, let's get going, then. Hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond. Reely's perspective. Right now, the wind is hitting my face. I am sitting in front of Mama while we are on top of one of the puppies, that Papa named, Ranga. He is a cute puppy, I like him. Right now, Papa, Mama, and I were sitting in that order, from back to front, while going to Dargan. Papa said it was a very nice place with lots of stores and pretty buildings, and that when we reached Dargan, we would walk around it and spend lots of time together with Mama there, so I am pretty happy. I think Mama is pretty happy too, because her face has been bright red all the way. I have turned around sometimes and seen her being hugged by Papa, so I am pretty sure she is very happy. But, I also want Papa to hug me. I am pouting a bit, but Mama's hugs are the best too. So I am happy. Talking about Mama, now she is very pretty. She looked very like Papa first, but now she has silver hair and looks so cool. I want to be like Mama when I grow up. I have decided. I am definitely going to be like Mama someday. During the journey, we sometimes stopped to rest, and I was able to play games like hide and seek and tag with Papa and Mama, so I was having a lot of fun. But Papa is very bad at hiding. Mama always finds him very fast. I don't know how much time we have been on the way to Dargan, but it has been a very fun time, so I am not complaining. Anyways. Right now, Mama is passing her hands through my hair, trying to fix it while the air makes a mess out of it again and again. But Mama does not give up. She is a determined Mama. Mama was pouting, and the next second, I stopped feeling the wind, and Mama was able to fix my hair. But Rangapuppy was still running, so I think Mama had to do something. I could hear Papa giggling from behind Mama, and as he did that, the wind returned to my face, and I smiled while leaning back on Mama's chest. See, don't be so childish enough to fight with the air, dear. Really is enjoying the wind, so just let it be, okay? Papa said, and I turned up to look at Mama, but even if her face was very red, she still nodded. I think Mama is embarrassed because she was fighting with the wind. I understand now, so I slowly extended my arm toward Mama's head, and barely managed to reach to give her a head pat. She turned to look down at me, but she saw my face and I think she immediately understood. Mama's eyes now look sad, like Uncle Valora's when Mama scolds him. Did I do something bad? I started to think about what I said, but at that moment, Mama hugged me tighter and leaned back on Papa's chest. Now we were all leaning on one another. Papa had his hands free, so to keep us from falling down from Rangapuppy, he gave us a big hug. He was able to hug both Mama and me in a single go. Papa is amazing. Papa's hugs are simply too relaxing, they make me feel like if just by staying hugged, I would be safe forever. He is a very good Papa, and I love him and his hugs. I leaned back even more on Mama's chest, and I started to get sleepy.